Well, I got to tell you, when I was growing up, we didn't know anything about gourmet coffee. You got Maxwell House, and that was as good as it would get. But now they've got a coffee shop on every street corner. We're going to be talking to a gourmet coffee queen next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Boy, there is just something really special about coffee, isn't there? Just the smell of it can sometimes take you back to your childhood. To talk about gourmet coffee, a person who knows all about that, Kaylee OCampo. She's with LYMI Coffee. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff. I'm very excited to be here, and obviously I'm very hyped up on coffee.
Yes. Well, I was reading your bio off of your website, and you have an interesting story about how you got into the coffee business.
Yes, so I always knew that I wanted to have a company, something specifically to share my love and connection through and encourage people through. And coffee is that universal language that brings people together. So I thought, why not go with that? It really resonates with all walks of life. So I can definitely build a community around that.
And there's this special significance with the name LYMI Coffee.
Yes. So the name is Love You, Mean It, and of course we use the acronym LYMI. But it is special to me because that's something that I believe and that I feel, and I would always say that to my roommates and to my friends and family. Love you, mean it. So that was something that I actually started with first before I even knew it was going to be coffee that I would be selling eventually.
Okay, you brought some props with you.
Yes.
So why don't you walk us through what are we looking at here?
Yes. So our premium quality is going to be the staple of them all, the high vibe. So LYMI Coffee is all about high vibes, positive energy, encouragement, and a really good mindset. So high vibe is a double A Robusta Indian and Brazilian bean blend, and it is naturally extra caffeinated, direct trade coffee, as well as organic. So it doesn't come with all the pesticides and the waxes and things of those nature that really are harsh on your body over time. So especially if you're a coffee drinker, an avid coffee drinker every day or multiple cups a day, you definitely want to go with something organic, and direct trade is best as well. So we have the high vibe, extra caffeinated. We also have the apple pie here. That's an American staple, so I definitely had to have that one. It's apple cinnamon flavor, as well as the pumpkin pecan, the pumpkinly here. So that's a special blend that I created, the pumpkin and the pecan flavors for those warm, toasty mornings or evenings during the fall.
Absolutely. Well, there's a wonderful video on your website. We're going to roll a little bit of that while we're talking. I bet you're always inventing, aren't you? Are you always thinking about the next flavor?
Yes. So I'm always creating. I'm actually bringing on a new roaster who has micro lot access to very special beans. So he and I are working closely on perfecting which is going to be the next staple in your household. But really, it's about quality coffee. So that's really important to me. And then adding the flavor element, the earthiness or the caramel, that's really important too. But that depends on the consumer. So, while all of these are great flavors, it's ultimately going to be up to the person drinking that coffee and what kind of creamers you're putting in too.
Well, I think you've really nailed something when you talk about memories. Some of my earliest memories are coming down the stairs and smelling Dad, brewing his coffee.
Yeah.
Well, how about you? What are your early memories of coffee?
My earliest memories of coffee will be at my grandmother's house. I'm from California, so we would go to Orange County and visit with my grandmother, and she was drinking coffee 24/7. It did not matter what time of day, and it was Folgers. So that was my experience with coffee. I didn't get introduced to something as gourmet as, different regions of the world until I was living in El Segundo down by the beach, and my roommates introduced it to me, and they would make coffee on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and we would open up the windows, and there would be this beautiful beach breeze flowing through, and we would share stories and have really good, aroma in the household, and just connecting. So that was my best memory of coffee, especially when it comes to, the gourmet style.
And I want to tease the audience. You've got a TV show that you're about to debut. Is that right?
Yes. So I wouldn't say as big as TV as you, but a podcast. So I started my company because, like I said, I wanted to share that positive energy with people and have something to do that through. So I started doing a video series called Coffee with Kaylee, and it was just a simple quote or message that I can discuss with the audience, just a few minutes of me breaking down what that meant and how to apply that knowledge to your everyday life to have better focus and better results. So I started with that, but then I had the privilege and opportunity to work with the Country Network and on a special event that they did and do some charity stuff with them. And so in doing so, they liked what I had to offer, and they offered to officially produce the show as a podcast, and so I can bring on some more people who have different experiences in life and who have value to add and to give to the world. It doesn't matter what kind of walk of life, or if they're an entrepreneur, or whether they're someone who enjoys coffee or not. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what is their gift that they want to give to the world, and we're going to give them that platform.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed in preparing for this show. I went on your YouTube channel, and you just have dozens and dozens of wonderful tip videos. We're going to roll one of them while we're continuing to talk. This is fresh brewed wisdom. Where'd you get the inspiration for your tips?
Honestly, through social media. So when social media first started, especially Facebook, I didn't even have access at the time, right? Mark Zuckerberg was limiting access to certain people. Eventually, when I did receive access to that and I started scrolling through and learning the ins and outs of what social media was, I would start to scroll past these memes, as we call them today, or just little quotes or messages that people would have, because I like to choose what I feed my mind. So anything, or just in everyday life, talking with people, connecting with people. Anything that was valuable and that I can resonated with me, I would kind of take that and stick it in my back pocket and apply that to my everyday life. And I loved doing that, and I loved being able to find more and more online that I would just scroll past randomly, like have a good day, or entrepreneur this, or if you want to be successful, do this. So those little gems is what I remember helping me kind of shift my mindset to be better and grow every day. And I wanted to offer that same thing. So that's where I began reading a lot more. Growth and mindset change, personal development type stuff, as well as entrepreneur books. That's when I started taking this stuff, reading it, digesting it, but then I need to give this to someone. I need to share this, and hopefully someone somewhere will see this at random, and it'll make a difference in their day or even their life and change the trajectory that they were currently on.
I want to compliment you from a marketing standpoint. You do a great job with Instagram and social media. We've got some pictures that we've loaded of your social media following, and so you're very active on social media. That's important to your brand, isn't it?
It is important, and it's not about numbers for me. It's about the quality of engagement, the quality of eyeballs, the quality of people receiving the information, the quality of the content itself. I'm still trying to grow it, so that is in the process. But definitely, I've already resonated with a lot of people and have received a lot of good feedback, so that I'm appreciative of, and that is what keeps me staying present as much as possible. So yeah, it is all about marketing and branding as much as possible.
Well, so how do you challenge yourself to continue to get better and better?
Quit your job and start a business. You don't really have a choice after that.
Right.
I mean, that is, well, one of the first things was leaving the comfort of living on the beach in California. I knew that being born and raised in Southern California was a gift and a curse. And I was very comfortable with what I was doing and where I was living and the lifestyle I was living, but it was not sustainable at what level I was in terms of business and success. So I knew I'd have to get out of that comfort zone, and that's when I had an opportunity to move to Texas, and I knew that Texas was booming. I knew it was a blank canvas. That's how I saw it anyway. It was a blank canvas ready for me to come paint the town and, you know, connect with more people, learn the lifestyle, and build something of my own finally. So after 2 years, I believe, here, I started my company, and it's just, I haven't looked back since. But that definitely has continued to keep me growing and learning a lot more.
Well, I congratulate you on coming to Texas, because this is the land of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
When you run into a fellow entrepreneur, I think the attitude is basically, what can I do to support you? And it's basically a lift as you climb mentality here.
It really is. And everyone welcomed me with open arms. That was the best humbling thing ever, because that's how I am. You know, what's mine is yours. How can I help you? What can I do for you? I love connecting people. I love connecting with them, and collaborating. That's my biggest thing. I built this in hopes of being able to collaborate with more people and do business in random, you know, arenas and different avenues, not just coffee. It's so much more than that. So like we have CBD as well. It's a lifestyle thing. It's about, you know, living a better life, being healthy, being well, not only up here, but physically as well.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
How about yourself? How many cups do you have a day?
Typically about 2.
About 2?
Yeah, about 2. So not too much, especially with the high vibe, because it's extra caffeinated.
Yeah. Well, you seem kind of mellow. I think you've been into the CBD.
yeah, and then you switch it up, and then you get your CBD.
There you go. Well, we're almost out of time, so we're going to put your website up so
Yeah.
everybody can get in touch with you. They can buy it on your website as well as local coffee shops?
Yes, so currently we are online only. We have a subscription base, and that is at LYMIcoffee.com, LYMI coffee.com. You can subscribe to get automatic refills. That's the best way. Once you try it, I promise you're going to be coming back for more. I have customers who do that, and they buy in bulk the next 2 times. So go ahead, subscribe online, LYMIcoffee.com, and soon we will be at a local coffee shop or grocery store near you.
Awesome. I will encourage all my viewers to go ahead and get your order in. If you haven't tried her coffee, you don't know beans about coffee.
Yes, thank you.
Pun intended. Thank you. You've been an amazing guest.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.